Creating an observable allows you to subscribe to the sequence of data or events defined in it. Think of it as a channel that streams data or events over time. When you create an observable, it's like opening this channel, and when you subscribe to it, you are tuning in to receive whatever comes through. Now, when an observable is subscribed, resources are allocated to keep this connection alive. However, when you are finished receiving data or events from the observable, it's vital to unsubscribe. Unsubscribing is like closing that channel. It's important because it stops using unnecessary memory and processing power. By unsubscribing, you ensure that resources are freed up properly when you no longer need them, preventing potential memory issues and keeping your application running smoothly. Angular does provide the unsubscribe method, which is called with the observable when we want to unsubscribe from the observable. Let's take a look at an example. I'll create an observable. Only this time I'm specifying a generic type as number, which means this observable will emit the values of type number, and will specify an observer. We are trying to implement a counter example which will keep on incrementing until we unsubscribe the observable, declaring a count variable and a set interval method which increments the counter. So for that I'll give observer.next count++. By stating this, the observable will emit the incremented count value every second. Let's unsubscribe to the observable. I'll give a constructor and will subscribe to the observable, passing the data argument, and will display it inside the console. So the count value is going to be passed inside the data, and that will be displayed in the console. Let's check the output. We get the count value incremented every second, and this keeps on going. To directly stop the execution or unsubscribe from the observable, we can give the unsubscribe method directly like this. And as you can see, this unsubscribes the observable immediately, as when the observable tries to emit the values, we are immediately unsubscribing from it. So there won't be any output generated. But let's say we want to unsubscribe the observable after 5 seconds. So for that, I'll give a set timeout method, and here, as we cannot directly apply the unsubscribe method on the observable, let me assign this subscription line to a constant. And then we apply the unsubscribe method on it, giving a console message saying observable unsubscribed and a time of 5 seconds. So observable is going to get unsubscribed after 5 seconds. Also, let me set the clear interval method. I'll assign the set interval method to a constant, and that we will use as a reference inside the clear interval. So here I'm returning the clear interval method, which acts as a cleanup function returned by the observable to stop the timer and prevent it from emitting the values, of course, after the observable is unsubscribed. Although when the observable is unsubscribed, it will stop the execution, that is, emitting of values, but stating the clear interval method ensures that the emission is stopped once the observable is unsubscribed. And it is also considered a good practice to define the code like this. Let's check the output, and now after 5 seconds, the interval gets cleared and the observable is unsubscribed. So to conclude, unsubscribing from an observable is essential to prevent memory leaks and unnecessary resource usage. By unsubscribing, you ensure that the connection between the observable and its subscriber is properly closed when the data or event stream is no longer needed.